Piet Nel of the South African Institute of Tax Professionals joins us now. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. So we heard today the inquiry that Tom Moyane's unnecessary, what it's called unnecessary and costly restructuring basically led to the compliance unit being disbanded, and ultimately that led to a decline in taxes being collected. Was it really that bad under his leadership?
I think that we can say that it was, yeah. The biggest influence came from the actual disbanding of the large business centre. And these are the Sars officials with years of experience, and having disbanded that, of course, they've also lost their senior staff with years of experience. They were the people that were doing the investigations and making sure that taxpayers were paying their correct taxes, and they were dealing with the large businesses, and so that's where generally where the easy money would come from for SARS to collect that. Yeah. And so by disbanding that, they certainly have put pressure on the collections there, because certainly less money were collected from the audit investigations there.
Now, given your concern, which you raise now, as the Institute of Tax Professionals, when that happened, do you not have a duty to actually red flag it?
Yes, so we were also calling for the investigation to happen into the affairs, because, I mean, we're standing outside here and you just experience what happens there, so you don't really have a first-hand experience of what is the reasons that's driving that. We did report that. The things like withholding of VAT refunds and things, we were pushing for that. We went to the tax ombudsman to investigate that, and it came out. So certainly we're complaining about timelines not being kept, taxpayers unnecessarily being audited, people repeatedly audit where there are other, perceived, of course, other taxpayers that were not audited. And we hear that last week, Cecil Morden referred to the tobacco industry. Yeah. Those investigations were not happening, whereas other that we consider compliant taxpayers were being, in a sense, harassed and being audited to see if they can get extra money from them. Yeah.
So as a tax professional, hearing the testimony at this commission of inquiry, does it worry you? Is it concerning that it got to this point?
It is concerning, yeah. No, it certainly is concerning. It was concerning if you just look at last year, November, December, when the reports of 500 senior staff people that had left. And one wonders if the reason why they leave is because they were under pressure to do things that maybe they were saying, based on our experience, this is what we should be doing. It was concerning for us in that you couldn't get disputes settled to SARS. Many of the bigger taxpayers were resorting to court cases to get the disputes solved. You couldn't engage with SARS people, and clearly they introduced that in the large business centre. You had the opportunity to engage with SARS, and when there's an audit ongoing, you could engage with them. The changes made it impossible for you actually to find somebody to speak to and to have your tax problem sorted out, or speedily sorted out. Yeah. You've got a tax refund that's due and it's not happening. You can't get to speak to somebody. So yeah.
So given all of that, I reckon you agree this commission is necessary then?
The commission is necessary, yeah. The commission is necessary, of course, because we also want to see, and that's what they looked at last year, is on the collection side, but from the tax administration side. We were, just to give an idea, tax practitioners were finding problematic, and taxpayers were complaining about that, as you said, red flagging things. We've asked and lobbied for that when the tax ombudsman's office was introduced, to get some service charter from SARS, some indication of how they will treat you. We really ask for fair treatment. And this doesn't happen. Under Tom Moyane's leadership for 3 years, 4 years, the tax ombudsman every year was asking for this, and Mark Kingan released that a couple of months ago in May, after Tom Moyane left. So that we sort of got the sense that, the taxpayer is there to get money out of him, but we don't really want to treat him fairly.
Yeah. So how do we restore the credibility of SARS? Do we need a new leader?
I think that the leader, definitely, a leader would drive that, because one get the sense that some of these practices must have come down from the leadership, so that would do that. But it's going to take And speaking to the SARS officials, that, you know, that loss of expertise and specifically also on the technology side, the development that didn't progress, that was halted there. If one can restore that, and you'll need a leader to drive that, Mark Kingan is already starting that. I think that would help to restore that. Definitely we need to restore the trust in SARS. One wants to know that you're fairly treated. That leads to better compliance.
Yeah.
You know, if you sort of say, look, I mean, there was some pushback for the high taxes because the monies are wasted, etc. But we look at SARS and we say, okay, they have the duty to collect that. If we trust them and that we are fairly dealt, we'll be able to, when we can engage in audits, receive fair administrative treatment. We have a dispute, we can sort that out. If that system is, then the trust will be restored in SARS.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. That was Piet Nel of the South African Institute of Tax Professionals. Now,